Perfect. There we go.
Cool. Well, it's not cool, it's hot, isn't it? So take it easy if you do get warm today. I hope you can see me here. So yes, downstairs in the living room, it's a bit cooler. Let me just pop you all on mute so you don't have any background noise. So there was an article in the paper at the weekend with a kind of complaint from a growing group of yoga teachers who were saying that yoga seemed to be turning into something that it was never intended to be, and that is a very exclusive little club for a certain group of people. And they're saying that some teachers have started using Sanskrit throughout the class, making it difficult, which is the language of yoga, making it difficult for lay people, myself included, actually, to follow and understand. That it's almost that the brand business of yoga clothing has become a multi-million pound industry. I think 2 years ago it was worth 15.5 billion pounds, and they think that by 2030 it will have doubled. So the likes of Lululemon with their fancy yoga pants and yoga clothes. So it's almost like if you're not wearing the right clothes, if you're not speaking the right language, you can't come to a yoga class. Yoga isn't for you, and we all know that's absolute rubbish. Because in its simplest form, yoga is it's not about this, it's not about what we're wearing, it's not about our body, it's about calming and quietening the mind. And we've kind of added on the movement to make that a little bit easier for us to do, to move with our breath, and that way calm our thoughts. But ultimately, that's as pure and simple as it is. That's as straightforward as it gets. So a nice simple flow today. We're going to take it back to basics with some rounds of sun salutes, with some add-ons, nothing too complicated. But focus today on less about what the body is doing and perfecting the form, and more about, again, just calming the mind and working with your breath and the movement to help do so. So we're going to start seated today. So go ahead and pop something underneath your bottom if you need to. Apologies if there's any extraneous noise from trains and cars. So come to a comfortable seat, and it never ever has to be cross-legged. So finding somewhere comfortable, palms might rest down on your knees, or you can just rest your palms on your lap there, wherever you feel comfortable. Take a moment to get yourself nice and balanced across the sit bones, left to right. And whilst you're feeling grounded through your seat, think about lengthening up gently through your spine. Nice feeling of buoyancy through your chest. Soften the shoulders. And maybe close the eyes, or if you're comfortable with that, if you're not comfortable with that, just bring your gaze to the floor in front of you. Beginning to prepare ourselves for our practice this morning by just bringing the spotlight inward, bringing the focus closer to home and back to our breath. The fundamentals of our yoga practice, as pure and as simple as that. Slowly beginning to drop the awareness to your breath as you begin to deepen each inhale and exhale this morning. Every exhale is an opportunity to let go of anything that might be bothering you, anything that has brought you to your practice this morning that's been niggling. Worries, anxieties, any repetitive thoughts, trying to let them go. And we're going to start with a little breathing sequence. And it's designed to help bust anxiety or tension. And I found out this week that summer raises cortisol in our bodies, which is our stress hormone, which means those of us who run a little bit high on the anxiety scale already might find it becomes a little bit worse in summer. So even if that's not the case for you, this is a lovely breath to help calm and soothe the mind. 3, 4, 5 breath, really simple. We breathe in for 3. We pause with the breath at the top for 4. And then we exhale for a slow count of 5. That's not for you this morning. You just focus on deepening and lengthening each inhale and exhale. If you want to give it a go, let's take a nice deep breath in together and a nice deep breath out. And then next time you breathe in for your count of 3. Pause for your count of 4. And then breathe out for your count of 5. So breathing in for 3. Little hold at the top for a count of 4. And then releasing the breath for your count of 5. And just continuing with that. And what we're doing is beginning to lengthen each exhale. That part of the breath that helps to settle the spirits, soothe the nerves. And that little hold at the top is not a rigid hold. The shoulders and the face tensing up. It's that momentary pause while we count for 4. And then feel that lovely release for 5. So 3, 4, 5 breath. A lovely one to have in your toolkit if you're ever feeling anxious. Let's do a couple more rounds of that, bringing us into our practice. The good thing about breathing exercises is that we can do them anywhere without anyone knowing about them when we might be in need of a little bit of calm. When you finish that next round, allow the breath to come back to its natural rhythm, and you might just notice a change in the breath. Maybe it feels a little smoother, a little deeper. So we'll bring the hands together at the heart now, dropping your chin down towards your fingertips, lifting your breastbone towards your thumbs. And as you inhale, let's sweep the arms out and up, maybe lifting your gaze. And exhale, bringing the hands down to your heart and the chin to your chest. Do that twice more, so big circle out and up. Lovely, lengthening through the side of the body, and then exhale, drawing the hands down, letting the chin drop, little stretch in the back of the neck. One more time, inhaling up. Exhaling, hands to heart. Beautiful. We're going to make a little gesture with our hands called a mudra. And this one is, we bring our thumbs and our fingers together and press them gently together. And this is called Hakini Mudra, or the mudra of the mind. Thinking about, again, what yoga is all about, quietening the mind. So as you inhale, you're going to extend your arms forwards, fingertip pressed together. And as you exhale, bring the hands behind you and interlace them. As you inhale, draw the knuckles down, lift your chest, maybe lift your chin. And as you exhale, release that stretch. Inhaling, arms come forwards, interlace the hands. And as you exhale, push the palms forwards and round the back. Push the palms up as you inhale. And we'll take a twist to the right as you exhale, one hand in front and the other behind. Inhaling up through the middle. And exhaling, let's twist in the opposite direction. Back through the middle, breathing in. Hands coming down to heart. Exhale. Lovely. So again, making that little mudra, so connecting your thumbs and your fingers, pressing them gently together. You inhale, take the arms forwards. Exhale as you swim the hands behind. Draw the knuckles down as you inhale. And as you exhale, release that stretch. Breathing the arms forwards, take an inhale. Exhale as you round the back, hugging navel to spine. Inhale, reach up. This time as you exhale, right hand comes down. Take the top arm alongside your ear and really try and push your ribs over to the left a little bit there. And then looking down, we're going to bring that left hand onto your left shoulder. And just start to draw little circles with your elbow. Gently opening up into the shoulder this morning. Be a small movement or a slightly bigger one. And then just change direction. Take the elbow around the opposite way. Lovely. And then we'll re-extend that arm all the way over the top of the head, palm down. You can look up or keep the gaze down, whatever works for you. Big breath in to come up through the middle and exhaling over to the other side. And so we start by, again, just gently pressing the ribs in the opposite direction to the right this time, and then looking down, hand comes to shoulder. And we do those little circles or big movements, depending on how your shoulder feels today. Taking the shoulder around all its range of movement there. Oiling the joints, changing directions if you've not done so already. Beautiful. And then taking that top arm all the way back over the head. Maybe tucking your chin in this time and looking up. Beautiful, both arms lift, take an inhale. Hands coming down to the heart, exhale. I'm going to sit sideways on so you can see what I'm doing in this next one. So this time as you inhale, we'll sweep the arms forwards. And as you exhale, make fists, elbows come to the waist, sit back, and maybe see if you can lift your toes a little way off the floor, a little pause. Yeah, inhale, reach forwards and up, feet come down. Exhale, take that little rock back, elbows to waist. Maybe you can shift the weight to pick up your feet. Don't worry if you can't. Inhale. And exhale, little rock back. Lovely. Last time, inhale. And this time as you exhale, we're going to rock back. And see if you can catch hold under your knees so your shins are parallel, little boat pose. And then one toe touches down as you inhale. And exhale, we swap sides. So little toe taps, trying to keep that engagement through your core so your chest is lifted. Little taps, one by one. Lovely, couple more, waking up through the core this morning. And then we'll bring the feet back down. You can cross your feet and roll over your ankles to come onto all fours, or find a safe way there if that doesn't quite work for your feet this morning. Spreading the hands nice and wide, so you've got hands underneath your shoulders and knees underneath your hips there. And take a moment just to check that your gaze hasn't dropped. You're looking just beyond your fingertips as you gently bring your navel up towards your spine this morning. Keep pressing into your hands as we come into that lovely simple exercise of cat and cow. So as you inhale, dip your belly, lift your tailbone, chin pulls forwards. Exhale, rounding up like an angry cat, pressing into your hands. And then again, inhale, let the chest ripple forwards. And exhale, getting that lovely stretch across the upper back. Maybe close the eyes as you continue just with a few more of these this morning. As you bring your chest forwards, don't forget to keep pressing into your hands so we're not disappearing into the shoulders. Lovely. Let's do that one more time, inhaling. And as you exhale, bring your bottom down to your heels or come into a child pose. And see if you can bring your elbows down to the floor, your forearms down to the floor, and your elbows are behind your wrists, so we're not flaring the elbows out. We've got the arms parallel. As you inhale, we'll peel the forearms up as you come onto all fours, arching the back. Exhale, rounding the back, bringing the elbows and the forearms down, trying to keep, again, that parallel line with the arms. Inhaling up, moving cat-cow. Exhale as you round. So a little squeeze of the elbows towards each other, waking up the upper back. Couple more times, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Just once more. So inhale, we'll come forwards and up. And this time we'll pause in our child pose, bottom to heels. And this time we'll walk the arms forwards, maybe coming onto tips of fingers and thumbs. Hug those arm bones back in their sockets. And you might lift up onto the tips of your fingers and thumbs this morning, so you can press them down into your mat, getting a little bit more stretch through the arms, into the armpits, down into the side of the ribs there. Breathing some breadth into the back of the body, the sides of the body there. And bringing the hands down, we'll find our way back onto all fours, tucking the toes under. And if you want to join me in a downward dog this morning, now's the time to do it, having a little pedal out. If you prefer to stay on all fours and carry on with your cat and cow, feel free to do that. If you're in that downward dog, have a little pedal out through the feet, maybe a little shake of the hips, shake of the head there, just keep everything nice and loose. And then we'll drop back down onto all fours and flatten your feet. Make sure your hands are directly underneath your shoulders there. It'll really help with balance. So you're going to take your right leg back behind you and extend your left arm in front of you with your palm facing inwards, thumb up towards the sky. Press into that hand on the floor, firm up through the belly. Inhale, we're going to lift arm and leg, stretching in opposite directions, and exhale to lower. Inhale to lift, so we've got the right leg and the left arm moving. So see if you can lift arm and leg, level with your hip and your shoulder, waking up through the core. Inhale to lift, and exhale to lower. This time we're going to lift and hold. So reaching forward, see if you can lift that front arm a little higher. Maybe try taking arm and leg out in a diagonal if you want a little balance challenge today. Lovely, coming back to center. Bring the hand down, keep the leg straight, but lower it so the ball of the foot's on the floor. And just have a little roll backwards and forwards there. Stretching into the foot. Now knowing that you can stay here, if you don't want to do this next little bit, or come to stillness, press into your hands. Press into that foot and see if you can lift your left knee up towards your chest, rounding your back like you're riding a broomstick. Yeah. You're going to take the leg back, so we'll all meet in a plank. As you inhale, shift the weight forwards. And as you exhale, knees down, chest down. Just slide those elbows underneath the shoulders for Sphinx Pose. So again, just check that they're parallel. You're not flaring the elbows out. You're pressing down with your palms, your forearms, so your chest is lovely and lifted. Point the toes back behind you and feel some weight drop into the pelvis there. And as you breathe in, expand the rib cage in all directions. And as you exhale, feel everything soften back to center. So inhale to expand and open the ribs, chest, and exhale to release. Let's do that once more. Lovely deep breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Beautiful. Taking the elbows wide, coming to lie down with the arms alongside you with your palms up towards the ceiling. So toes and tops of feet stay pressed down as you push your arms up, as though you want to press your palms towards the ceiling. And now lift your chest, keeping the gaze down so the toes are still on the floor. See if you can lift just a little bit higher and then slowly release. Hands alongside the rib cage this time. Tuck the elbows in as you lift your chest. Little baby cobra, breathing in and breathing out to lower. Let's come all the way back onto all fours. Tuck the toes under and have a little downward dog there. Maybe again, a little pedal out through the feet. Beautiful. And then we'll try that on the other side. So we'll come down onto all fours. So this time we're going to take the left leg back and the right arm forward. So again, you're on the blade of the little finger. Thumb is pointing up. Firm up through the belly and inhale to lift and extend. And exhale to lower. You might notice one side feels different to the other. Inhale. Really good one to strengthen the back of the body. Little test for our balance this morning. We've got the floor to support us. Lovely. Inhale to lift and exhale to lower. Let's lift and hold this next time. So maybe lift that front arm a little bit higher as you stretch the leg back. You can try taking arm and leg out the diagonal if you want a little challenge this morning. Then come back to center. Hand comes down. Ball of foot to the floor behind you. And again, keep pressing into your hands. You just have a little rock back and forth over the ball of the foot. Now you might just want to stay here, or again, come to stillness, press into your hands. Pick up your right knee this time. Hover it up towards your chest. You can bring your nose towards your knee there. And then we'll all meet in plank pose. Center the leg back. Just check that the hips aren't jackknifed up towards the ceiling. You've got that lovely long line through the body. As you inhale, shifting forwards. Exhale, knees down, chest down. Finding our Sphinx pose again. So you want your elbows, again, sort of roughly underneath your chest there, underneath the shoulders. So we can really feel that we're not kind of collapsed on the mat. We've got that lovely, proud feeling of feeling pulled up through the chest as you lengthen out through the toes. Pressing gently down through the palms. Again, as you breathe in, feel that expansion of the rib cage. And exhale to soften. We'll do one more like that. So nice deep breath in. And exhale to release. Now you can continue with this morning, or without bringing the shoulders up towards your ears, slowly start to lift your elbows, your forearms up off the floor. Keep a little softness in the elbows and keep those elbows hugged in behind your wrists. Lovely. Take one more inhale. Exhale to lower. Arms come down alongside you with your palms up towards the ceiling. Forehead on the floor. So we start by lifting the arms, pushing the palms up. Palms are straight. And maybe you lift your chest. And maybe now you lift your legs, lifting from the top of the hip. Little mermaid's tail, heels gently touching. Everything that's lifted, see if you can lift a little bit higher. Slowly lower down. Bring the hands underneath the rib cage there. Coming into your baby cobra as you breathe in. And breathe out to lower down. Let's come back onto all fours. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. And again, have that little sway of the hips, little wobble back and forth as you walk the feet. And then we're going to walk your feet towards your hands, coming to the top of your mat there. So if you're comfortable in a forward fold, go ahead and bend your knees, cradle your elbows, have a little sway. If you don't want to have your head lower than your heart today, then you just bring your hands a little bit higher up the legs there. So if you're in that forward fold, everything hand down, swaying the body gently. And then release the elbows and take your time to roll your way up. It is warm, so let blood pressure adjust. We'll roll our way up. Beautiful. So we'll stand at the top of the mat with the mat behind you. Feet about hip width apart. Let's start with our little sun salute. So do the first round nice and slow, and then we'll add on as we go. So hands come together at the heart, finding that evenness of weight between your feet. We'll start with our half sun salutes. So inhaling, arms reach out and up. And exhale, let's come down into a forward fold, bend the knees as much as you need to. Hands slide up the legs to your shins or your thighs. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale to fold. Let's rise to stand, sweeping the arms out and up. And exhaling, hands to heart. Inhaling, lifting up. Excuse me. Exhale, forwards and down. Lifting up halfway, big breath in. And breathing out, soften and fold. Rise on up, so really press into your feet to lift yourself up. Hands coming down to heart, lovely. Once more, then we'll add on. Warming up the body. So keep that knee bend nice and deep if your hamstrings feel tight today. And then pushing your hands against your legs to bring your chest forwards as you breathe in. Before we fold back. Last time, we're going to rise all the way up. Hands coming to heart, lovely. Let's start to build a little flow, nice and slow. Inhale. Exhale to come down over the legs. Breathing in, let's look forwards halfway. And as you exhale, we'll bend the knees and slide or step your right leg back behind you. It's going to lower the knee and bring both hands onto that left knee. So as you press your knee forwards, think about lifting your chest up. A little squeeze of the inner thighs towards each other. And then from there, we're going to arrow the arms up towards the ceiling. You might bring your palms to touch if your shoulders are comfortable. You might even take your gaze up towards the sky. Lovely. Breathing as you lengthen into the sides of the body. Let's take one more inhale there. And as you exhale, we'll lower the hands. Pick up that back knee and we'll step back into a downward facing dog. Now, knowing that these next little bits, these plank poses, if you don't want to do them, you can stay in a downward dog. If you want to join me in a plank, inhale to roll forwards. And as you exhale, bring your knees down, your chest down, flattening your feet. Find your way to a cobra as you inhale, might be nice and low today. Elbows hugged in. And exhale to lower. Back onto all fours, breathing in. And let's tuck the toes and lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, maybe you can sink your heels down towards the floor a little more. So we're going to bend your right knee. And then we'll take that right leg all the way up behind you. And then stepping or helping it forwards, top of the mat. And lowering the other knee down. Let's bring both hands onto that right knee. And again, as you press the knee gently forwards, you lift your chest up. Lovely. Sweep the arms up towards the sky. Again, maybe the palms touch. If your shoulders are tight, you just keep your arms apart there. Lovely. You might take your gaze up in that beautiful crescent lunge. And then hands coming all the way down. Pick up the back knee as we step to a flat back at the top of the mat. And then we fold all the way down over the legs. We rise up slowly, sweeping the arms out and up. Hands coming down to heart. Beautiful. We're going to do that a little bit faster on the left side. One movement, one breath. So inhale, arms lift up. Exhale as you swim the arms down into that forward fold. Lifting up halfway as you inhale. And as you exhale, left leg this time slides back. Knee comes down. Let's sweep the arms out and up, straight up into that crescent lunge. Breathing in and breathing out, bring the hands down. Pick up the back knee as you inhale. And as you exhale, let's step back into your downward facing dog. Know you can stay here or roll the body forwards to a plank as you breathe in. And as you exhale, knees down, chest down. Finding your way to a little cobra as you inhale. Lovely. And as you exhale, lower. Back onto all fours, breathing in. We'll tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Let's take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out again, just feel that you can press your heels down and the hips back. Bending the left knee. As you inhale, let's sweep the left leg up. And as you exhale, step or help it forwards. Give it a hand if it doesn't get there. Lower the back knee. Up into that lunge. Breathing in, raising the arms up. And breathing out, bring your hands down. Pick up the back knee, and as you inhale, step to your flat back, top of the mat. And exhale to fold. Let's rise on up. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Beautiful. Breathing in, sweep the arms out and up. Hands coming to heart. Gorgeous. So we're going to add on and do a little sun salute B this time. So choice is yours. I'll come to the other end of the mat so I can start to mirror you. So choice is yours. Again, you can skip out the little vinyasas, the movements from downward dog to plank. You can stay in downward dog or have a little rest in child pose. Choice is yours. So starting at the top of the mat, let's inhale. And as you exhale, let's find our chair pose this time. Sending your hips back. You can keep the hands to heart or reach them forwards or even up towards the sky there. Keeping the arms a little wider apart so the shoulders are soft. Let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, sink down a little deeper. Beautiful. Take one more inhale there. And as you exhale, let's hinge forwards. Lifting up halfway, take an inhale. And as you exhale, let's step straight back into your downward facing dog. Option to stay here or inhale, roll forwards to plank. And as you exhale, come all the way down onto your belly. Pick up your chest to cobra or maybe an upward dog this time. Squeezing the bottom. And we all meet in a downward facing dog. Beautiful. So from your downward dog, you're going to bend your right knee. And as you inhale, float the right leg up. And as you exhale, step that right foot forwards and adjusting your back foot, ready for a warrior one. So feet are about hip width apart. Go ahead and walk your right foot towards your right hand. And then when you're ready, we rise on up, sweeping the arms up. And then bringing the hands down to the heart. So heart and hips are facing the short edge of your mat, the top of your mat there. Go ahead and bend your front knee and press out through that back heel. Now remember that little Hakini Mudra we made, connecting our fingertips and our thumb. Make that little gesture, hands to heart. And as you inhale, take the arms forwards. And as you exhale, swim the hands behind you and interlace them, just as we did at the beginning. Draw the knuckles down, take an inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to hinge forwards. Now, option to lift the arms away from the low back, taking your gaze towards your back heel, humble warrior. Or bring both hands onto that right knee. And just keep the chest a little bit more elevated if that's more comfortable. If you're in that humble warrior, keep pressing into your feet, looking down towards the back of your mat. Lovely. And let the arms pull you all the way back up. Sweeping the arms up, take an inhale. And as you exhale, let's come all the way down with the hands. Lovely. Pick up the back heel. And as you inhale, let's step back into our downward dog. And as you exhale, sink the heels down. Option to have a little rest. Or roll the body forwards to plank as you inhale. Knees lifted or lowered as you come down onto your tummy, yogi's choice. Finding your way to cobra or maybe pushing up to an upward dog if you're familiar. And then we all meet in a downward facing dog. Pause there for a moment, get that sense of pressing your hands forwards and down as you send your hips up and back. And this time we float the left leg up and back, breathing in, breathing out, step or help, top of the mat. It's going to hop your right foot slightly out to the right, turning the toes out about 45 degrees. Feet hip width apart as you rise on up into your warrior one. Hands coming to heart as you deepen that front knee bend. But keep pressing out through that back heel. It's just like you want to pull the mat apart with your feet there. Equal energy through the legs. Making that little Hakini Mudra, so thumbs and fingertips pressed together. As you inhale, we take the arms forwards. And exhale, swimming the hands behind you, interlace them. We draw the knuckles down, take an inhale. And as you exhale, take that little hinge forwards, or again, bring your hands onto that front knee for a little bit of extra support. So if you're with me in that humble warrior, we're gazing towards your back heel, arms lifting up and over if that works for your shoulders this morning. Beautiful. Let the arms pull you all the way back up. We'll sweep the arms up, take an inhale. And as you exhale, bring the hands all the way down. This time we'll step to the top of the mat as you inhale into your forward flat back and exhale to fold. Let's rise on up nice and slow. Take an inhale. Hands coming down to heart. Exhale. Slowing the breath. Inhale. Arms lift out and up. Hands to heart. Exhale. Beautiful. So a little balance challenge, little pause in our practice. Oh, here he is. Little pause in our practice. So as we come into tree pose, remember that you can take any option that you wish. You can bring your foot to rest on the other foot. Excuse me, Milia's escaping. It's all a bit too much. So yeah, we could use the floor if we need to. Wouldn't be the same without Milia, would it? So let's bend the right knee, pick up the heel. And in its most simplest form, we just pivot on the ball of the foot, open the knee, and rest the heel on the top of the foot. You can come up a little bit higher. And if you are venturing up to your inner thigh this morning, just make sure you're not bumping the hips out to the side, that we're all feeling lovely and lifted out of that standing leg. So wherever you are, take your time. Nothing wrong with using the floor for a little bit of extra support. You can stay there, work on your balance. You can use some furniture to help you. Or if you want a little challenge, let's slowly take the arms up towards the ceiling. And then bring the thumbs behind the head. Opening the elbows nice and wide, and maybe take your gaze a little higher if you're feeling brave. Keep pulling up out of that supporting leg. You're going to reach both arms up towards the sky. Connect your thumb and your index finger as you open the arms out nice and wide. Beautiful. Taking the arms all the way back up. Hands coming down to your heart. Point that knee forwards. And step both feet together. Beautiful balance. Have a little pad side to side. So again, we'll start on the other side with tree at its most simple and beautiful. It's a hip opener as well as a balance. So if you want to work on that, as you pick up your left heel, you can rest heel on top of foot. So we're getting that little hip opener without the challenge of the balance this morning. We'll go ahead and venture up a little higher. Again, if you're bringing the sole of the foot to the inner thigh, just check that you're not pushing the hips out to the side. Pulling up through your chest, feel strong in that supported leg. Gaze focused on something that's not going to move. Keep it there as you extend the arms up above the head, palms together. And then without the head dropping forwards, the thumbs come behind the back of the head. Open the arms a little wider, elbows pull back. Maybe take the gaze a little higher if you're feeling brave. We take the arms back up. Connect your thumb and your first finger. Chin Mudra as we take the arms out to the side. Said to help with concentration. I'll try anything. Bring the arms all the way back up. And then we'll bring the hands all the way back down to the heart. And slowly bring the feet back underneath you, hip width apart. Have a little pad side to side. Beautiful. So again, we're going to have a little play with some sequencing now. So if your balance after that little challenge of tree felt a little bit wibbly wobbly, know that you can keep your back knee down in this next little flow. So we'll bring the feet about hip width apart, standing at the top of the mat. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, let's come back down into our chair pose. Extending the arms forwards or up alongside the ears. So if you can sit your hips back a little lower. And we'll all swim the hands behind you and interlace them, combining that shoulder stretch as you tug your knuckles down, keep the chest lifted, take an inhale. Exhale, straighten the legs, take a forward fold, arms lift up and over if that's comfortable. Strong work in the shoulders this morning, so feel free to bring the fingertips to the floor. Beautiful. Go ahead and bring the hands down onto your bottom. And as you inhale, sweep the fingertips forwards and up, rise up to stand. Exhale, find your chair pose. Take one more inhale, you can always lower your arms. And as you exhale, hinging forwards into your fold. Lifting up halfway, take an inhale. Right leg, we step back.
Bringing the knee down, but keeping the toes tucked under this time. Both hands onto that front knee. And again, we press the knee forwards as you lift the chest up. Beautiful, sweeping the arms all the way out and up, take an inhale. Hands come to heart, exhale. So we make a fist with your left hand and punch it into your right palm. So we've got a straight line with the elbows, lovely. So option one, we stay there, or option two, you pick up your back knee. Or take an inhale. And as you exhale, take a twist to the left, hooking your right elbow over that right thigh. Spinning your chest towards your hands, you're punching your palm down, your fist down into your palm, and your palm is resisting. You can always keep your back knee down. Lovely. Let's see if we can bring that right hand down to the inside of your foot and take the left arm up into a twist. Beautiful. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, bring both hands down, framing that front foot. Now pivot on your back heel, turning the toes out, ready for a warrior two this time. So go ahead and walk that front foot to the middle of the mat. And then when you're ready, we open up into our warrior two. So again, that feeling of pulling the mat apart with your feet, front knee pressing forwards, pressing out through the back heel. Lovely. Arms out left to right. Turning your front palm up as you inhale, reach forwards. And exhale, left arm arcs all the way up and back as we come into our reverse warrior. And all we do from here is straighten that front leg, coming into reverse triangle. Lovely. Bring the arms out left to right. And just pop the top hips up and back as you reach forwards. Look down as you bring your left hand to your thigh or your shin. And just relax the right arm all the way down alongside the body. Let it go. And then sweep that right arm forwards and up. Reaching it up towards the sky, opening up through the chest, maybe taking your gaze up towards your thumb, or keep the gaze down. And if you feel that your chest is facing the floor, bring that left hand up a little higher. In our Trikonasana, we're stretching through the sides of the body, keeping the front leg straight. Let's come all the way back up through the middle. Take an inhale. And left arm arcs up and back as you exhale. Bending that front knee, take an inhale. And as you exhale, big TikTok of the hands down, pivoting on that back foot. You're going to lower that back knee, keeping the toes tucked under. Come onto your fingertips, take an inhale. And as you exhale, slide the hips back towards that back heel, pulling the toes towards your face as we find that lovely hamstring stretch. Beautiful. You can stay there, just gently exploring how the hamstring feels today, or see if you can lift your chest as you inhale and exhale, maybe lower down over that extended leg. Seeing how that feels this morning. Make sure your hips are towards the center of your mat there as we deepen that stretch. Whoa, that's a good one. Lovely. We're going to roll through that front foot. Plant the hands, pick up the back knee, looking forwards. And as you inhale, step to your flat back. And exhale to fold. Sweep the arms forwards and up as you inhale. Send the hips back, chair pose. Exhale. Rising up to stand, take an inhale. Hands coming to heart. Exhale, take a moment, let the breath settle. And we'll try that on the other side. So if balance felt wibbly wobbly in that one, you can always keep the back knee down, no problem at all. Beautiful. So hands to heart, let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, find your chair pose. And again, find that position for the arms that suits you, straight forwards or up into that lovely wide V. Beautiful. So you might just want to stay here and come into a forward fold, or do that little shoulder stretch, swimming the hands behind, interlacing them, draw the knuckles down as you inhale. And exhale, we hinge forwards, arms lift up and over. If that's not for you, onto your forward fold with the fingertips on the floor. Lovely, letting the head go. And then bringing the hands onto your low back. Fingertips brush the earth as you sweep the arms forwards and up, rising to stand. Exhale back down into your chair pose. Woo, we take a breath here. Heat is on. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lifting up. And this time as you exhale, left leg slides back, knee comes down, toes stay tucked under. So again, we'll stack the hands on that front knee. Now, knowing you can stay there, if balance feels a little wibbly wobbly, we'll go ahead and use your hands to push up into your high lunge. Check you're not leaning forwards there. Bring your shoulders back on top of the hips. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, hands coming to heart. So this time, right hand is a fist punching into your left palm. We'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, we shift and twist towards the right, hooking your left elbow over your right knee. And see if you can lift your chest coming towards that thumb as you punch your palm, your fist down and your palm up. Now maybe you bring your left hand down to the inside of the foot, reaching that right arm up as you deepen your twist. Let's take one more inhale. Remember, you can do it with your back knee down, and exhale, lower the hands. You're going to pivot on your back foot, turning the heel in, toes out, lining up your front foot to the middle of the mat. And then we'll find our warrior two. Ooh, sweeping the arms out, pressing front knee forwards. And again, just check in your camera that you're not leaning forward, so shoulders onto the hips there. Flicking that front palm up, we'll inhale, reach forwards. And exhale, reverse your warrior, take that right arm all the way up and back. Nothing changes, we simply straighten that front leg. And we feel a deeper hip stretch possibly there in our reverse triangle. And then we bring the arms out left to right. A little pop up and back with that top hip as you continue to bring that right hand down onto your shin, your thigh, looking down as you relax the left arm all the way down by the body. And then a big circle, inhale, sweeping the left arm forwards and up. Maybe taking your gaze up towards your thumb, hips pressing forwards, or maybe take the gaze back down towards your big toe. Try not to dump all your weight in that supporting hand, so you should be able to free up that right hand and maintain your position there. That's how light the touch is. Beautiful deep breaths. And then when you're ready, keeping the legs straight, we'll come up through the middle and then taking the right arm up and back into our reverse triangle. Beautiful, bending the front knee, take an inhale. And as you exhale, let's take a tumble down with the hands. Looking forwards, as you inhale, step the feet to the top of the mat. And exhale to fold. Rise to stand as you inhale. Hands to heart, exhale. Arms out and up, take an inhale. Hands coming down to heart, exhale. Beautiful. Now, any knee issues, feel free to come straight down onto your bottom, bring the soles of the feet together and take a moment in cobbler's pose. A nice hip stretch for you there. If your back feels okay and your knees feel okay, let's see if we can add our last balance challenge, bringing your heels together and your toes out like a little penguin, hands coming to the heart. You're going to lift up onto the balls of the feet. Really good one to strengthen the ankles. Now slide your back down an imaginary wall as you bring yourself down to sit on your heels. Woo! Slowly, slowly, slowly. Woo! And then we'll bring the fingertips down to the floor. You can simply have a little shift of the weight from side to side if that feels a little challenging today. Or see if you can bring your hands back to your heart. Beautiful. Lovely, lovely balance, lovely hip opener. Beautiful. And then slowly, slowly, we'll pivot on the feet, turning the knees forwards, bring the fingertips down, come down onto your bottom as gracefully as possible and extend the legs, give the knees a little shake. So keep a softness in your knees if there's any issues with your back now, and hook one thumb over the other, make a little butterfly. Upper arms by your ears, gently pull the thumbs apart, feel the upper back work. Now keep the upper arms by your ears as you gently hinge forwards. So it's not a big move, keeping the back beautifully straight. And then we'll rise on up. Change over the cross of the thumbs, take an inhale. Exhale as you hinge forward. So again, upper arms alongside the ears. Inhale, reach up. Now separate the arms, but keep that lovely sense of length as you begin to hinge forwards. Keeping the arms by the ears, pause. And then simply let the hands fall wherever is comfortable on your shins, your thighs. And those of you who can comfortably take hold of your feet, you could try crossing at your wrists, holding the outer edge of the feet and gently pulling the outside edge of your feet back towards you. So you're getting a little inner thigh stretch at the same time. Wherever you are, ease your way forwards. Trying to keep that lovely sense of length. So we're not rounding the back there. Chest is open, back is long. Lovely. And then slowly, slowly lift your way up. And to bring the hands behind you with your fingers pointing forwards, or you can always turn them slightly out to the side. Let's get that lovely counter stretch now as you point your toes, press into your hands and open up through the chest now. Shoulder blades squeeze together. If you're lifting your gaze, take it up towards the ceiling rather than the wall behind you. Soften the elbows. You're going to bring your feet to where your knees were. Holding on just underneath the back of the thighs, lift your chest. Take a little lean back and see if you can lift the shins. And we come back to that little toe tap that we did at the beginning, alternating the lifting and lowering of your feet. And you might want to stay there, or see if you can hold that boat pose now, maybe releasing the arms with the palms up, lifting your chest a little higher. If you're feeling very brave today, you might straighten the legs. Woo! Wherever you are, let's all bring the feet down to the floor. Hands cup the knees, take an inhale as you lift your chest. And as you exhale, straighten the arms, take a little lean back as you stretch between the shoulder blades. Lovely, lifting up. Now keep hugging that right knee in towards you as you extend that left leg out in front of you. You keep your foot on the floor, or you can cross it over, or have a little lean into that left buttock and swish the foot round behind you, but make sure you've got space for your bottom there. Left hand or elbow gives that knee a squeeze, and let's circle the right arm all the way up, bringing the fingertips either behind you or just wrapping them onto your low back, wherever you can feel that you're kind of keeping that nice upright posture. I know if I bring my hand to the floor, I kind of lean into it there, so do whatever you need to do. So find your way to your twist this morning. Lovely. Slowly come back through the middle and just take the body round in the opposite direction. Unravel the spine. Lovely. Bring the fingertips down so you can lean into your hands. Give the legs a little shake, shake. And then left heel comes in. So you might want to keep it on the inside. If you're crossing it over, you should be able to keep your big toe on the floor. Or go ahead and add that final flourish of hooking the heel round behind you. Right hand or right elbow gives that knee a squeeze. So this time a big circle with your left arm, finding the floor behind you, or again, like me, just wrapping the hand around on your low back. So you kind of forces you to use those deep postural muscles of your spine there. I know I'm apt to cheat and lean into my backhand. Sitting up nice and tall. Lovely. Coming up through the middle and just taking the body round in the opposite direction now. Unraveling. Coming back through the middle, lean into your hands, give your legs, again, a little shake, shake, and just bringing yourself to the top of the mat, making sure your heels are touching the top of your mat. We're going to reach the arms out in front, interlace your hands and free up your index fingers. And keeping your heels down, can you roll your way down through the spine, slowly, 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 vertebrae by vertebrae. And when you get there, reach the arms back above the head and have a moment in a full body stretch. Go ahead and stretch out through one side of the body and then the other, getting a nice sense of space. And then go ahead and bring your right knee in towards your chest and give it a hug. Keeping the other leg extended, or if the back is pulling today, just bend your knee. So as you hug that right knee in, you might find it's tracking towards your armpit a little bit. That's absolutely fine. Keeping the toes of the extended leg up towards the sky there. And then left hand coming to your right knee, we're going to come into a little twist. So taking that right leg across the body. Oh, satisfying click of my back there. The shoulder blade will probably lift up from the floor. That's absolutely fine. And then we'll come all the way back, giving that knee a squeeze. And this time bring your knee down towards your armpit. So we're coming into a little hip stretch. Keep pressing down through that extended heel. You've got the option to stay there or lifting head and shoulders. Right hand takes hold of the inside or outside edge of the foot. And we come into a half happy baby. So we're taking the sole of the right foot up towards the sky, gently bringing the knee down towards the outside seam of the body. If that's too much, you keep your knee bent and just give that leg a little hug towards your armpit there. So we want our shin perpendicular to the floor there. Lovely. Slowly release. And extend both legs, reach the arms back, come into that full body stretch. Again, a chance to wiggle, wiggle. And then we'll hug the opposite knee. So left knee gets a nice squeeze and keep stretching out through that right heel, or go ahead and bend the knee, whatever works for you. Just check your shoulders to relax there. Sometimes the shoulders kind of jam up towards your ears. Again, your knee might be kind of tracking towards your armpit there. And then finding that little twist. Left hand, right hand on the left knee, and bring that knee across the body into a little twist there. Lovely. And then come all the way back through the middle. And this time we bring that knee just towards the outside edge of the body, towards your armpit. And just check that those right toes are still pressing up towards the sky. We can stay here, or again, lift your head, lift your shoulders. Left hand takes hold of the foot, inside or outside edge, whatever works for you. And we come into our half happy baby there. So the sole of the foot is pressing up towards the ceiling and the knee is coming down towards the outside edge of the body there. Lovely. And then slowly release. This time we'll keep that knee hugged in towards your chest and just bring the other knee up to join it. One hand on each knee. Just take the knees round in a little circle there. First in one direction and then in the other. And then keeping your big toes pointing towards each other, go ahead and separate your knees out nice and wide. Slide the hands down towards your shins, your ankles. And your bottom might well not quite be resting on the floor there, but see if you can get the sense of pressing your lower back down into your mat. Drop some weight into the back of the pelvis as you gently open the knees, bringing your heels down towards your bottom. So you might stay there or finish off with a happy baby, lifting up your head and shoulders so you can hold on to the feet there, inside or outside edges again. So again, your bottom might lift up, but see if you can work towards dropping your tailbone down towards your mat. So the elbows, your knees are coming down towards your armpit. Elbows soft there. You can have a little rock side to side if that feels nice. If you don't like happy baby, you keep your knees bent and heels coming to bottom with your knees wide. Lovely. Slowly, slowly, let's all bend the knees. Bring the knees back to parallel, one hand on each knee. And again, take a little circle round, just bringing the knees back into alignment. A little circle round in one direction. And then a little circle round in the opposite direction. Beautiful. Hug those knees up and in towards your chest. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, maybe lift your nose towards your knees. Just getting a little stretch through the upper back and the lower back. Keep the knees hugged in as you lower your head, lower your shoulders. And just slowly roll your head from side to side. Then roll across the back of your skull. Beautiful. And then head coming to stillness. Either just bringing your feet down to the floor with your knees bent. Take them a little wider apart. And then rest your knees against each other. Coming into supported rest pose. If you want to stretch the legs out in front of you for that more traditional Shavasana, go ahead and take your feet hip width apart, maybe roll across the back of your heels a few times to relax your ankles. And then let your toes roll out to the side, your heels roll in. Arms might be alongside the body. Keep a little space underneath your armpits there. Palms up towards the sky, or maybe rest one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. I'm just going to come up to seated so I can talk to you for a moment. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, go ahead and accept the floor with its support beneath you. Try and let go of any sense of holding or gripping there as you soften the back body.
This is the part of the practice where our mind once again wants to play little tricks on us. So let's see if we can close just as we began with our little anxiety busting 3, 4, 5 breath, if you want to join me. So take a nice deep breath in and a slow, deliberate breath out. And then we begin breathing in for your count of 3. A little pause for your count of 4. And release the breath, your count of 5. Breathing in for 3. A gentle pause at the top for your count of 4. And a slow release for your count of 5. And just continuing with that really simple breath sequence. Ending as we began, and as a traditional yoga practice would start and finish, with a moment of breath work, a moment of meditation to close your practice, using the breath as our focus. Breathing in for 3, pausing for 4, and breathing out for 5. You're doing that little anxiety busting breath sequence. Do one more full round. And then when you've exhaled for your count of 5, allow the breath to come back to a very natural and easy rhythm now. And then we'll all start to gently deepen and lengthen your inhale. And deepen and lengthen your exhale. It's ready for the rest of the day, hopefully feeling a little bit more connected to our breath, to our bodies. Mind's a little calmer. We'll take a slow roll across the back of the head, side to side. And then a little wiggle, your fingertips. Roll across the back of your heels if your legs are extended. And then we'll all take a lovely full body stretch, slowly extending the legs, reaching the arms back. Take a moment, enjoying that sense of space you've created in the body this morning. And then we'll lower the arms, walk your heels back in towards you, and then give your knees one last big squeeze in towards your chest. You can rock, you can roll, you can take a moment in stillness. And then roll or turn onto one side, wherever there's space in the room that you're in, before coming up to join me in a seated position, which again never has to be cross-legged. Let's bring the hands together, the center of your heart there, Anjali Mudra, that little gesture of reverence, of acknowledgement of one another for sharing a practice. So go ahead and drop your chin down towards your chest, lifting your breastbone to meet your thumbs. We'll take a lovely deep breath in together, sweeping the arms out and up. Hands coming down to heart. Closing our simple practice, I've read this lovely thing on Instagram. It said, life is simple. It's people that complicate things. So how true. So namaste. Stay away from people if you want to keep life simple. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming on a very hot day. So thank you. There we go.